I've been throwing some paint on on some pages in my book here. And I just thought like I would glue some texture pages down. Let me put my few paints away that I had out to make anything without it looking like insanity. So I'm going to put these away for now, and I'm going to take out my texture pieces. So that we can slap down some backgrounds. I hope everybody is having a lovely Sunday. We had a birthday party to go to today, so that is why I am home, because Brian's out working, so I am home with the kiddos. I was going to meet up with him, but it was too late by the time I left, and it would have been late when I got there, so I just stayed. I just came home. I like this page. I like it. Let's throw that down there. And it has been hot out. It has been so hot. So I'm not going to complain about not going out today because it's hot. I'm going to have enough hot days out in the truck, so I won't complain about missing one. Slap this down. What, babe? It should be in there on the floor or on her table. See, I did some. I painted some, and I want to, glue on some pages because it's just really hard. Some of these ad pages are really difficult to, it just doesn't look good when you're collaging on some really busy backgrounds. Some busy backgrounds can look great, but some of them not so much. Let me just cut this off because I don't feel like dealing with that coming up every time. Sorry. I like that. Fruit. I like fruit. Fruit. I like that oily look. So Lily had fun today. She's tired. The baby's already out. I've had her in bed now for a half an hour. She didn't get a good nap today. and they both didn't get a good nap today, so they were both still tired from our event yesterday. So everybody should sleep good tonight, I hope. Hello, Christy. I hope you're not working too hard. Let's do this on the side. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Hi, Louise. I hope you ladies are having a nice weekend. I get to get some glue therapy tonight, which is just nice. Very nice. Yeah, the full moon really makes a difference. Really makes a difference with people. I don't care what anybody says. The full moon is the full Monty when it comes to the crazies. And just how crazy people were when it was a full moon. Oh my God. I worked it for Verizon. It's just a cell phone. Oh yeah, Louise, it is near midnight where you are. But you just had to come on and party one last time today, huh? You just had to do it. I'll throw that on there. Oh, and it's, 7 o'clock here. It's going to be 7 o'clock here soon. My head is pounding. Let's see. Just for a little while. Just a little more partying. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more partying before you finally close your eyes. Thank you. A lot of this stuff, I take most of my patterns out of fashion and home magazines. They have the best patterns. Like the decorating magazines, they always have these rugs, and I just love the rugs. Oh, Lil, here, it's your dad. Say hello.
Hi, Dad. Hello. I need an ice cream. Can you get? No. I just had a cereal.
Hello, Sherry. We are just, I'm doing a video, honey. What did Dad say? Does he need me to do anything?
No.
Okay.
But you need to take a few hamburgers for him.
Okay. I can do that. Hi, Lynn. Oh, thank you. Yes, she is very sweet. She is my sweetheart. She played very hard today with everybody. She played very hard outside today with all the kids at the party. So she's going to be in bed early tonight. We partied hard last night, huh, Lynn? We had a YouTube party over at Shelly's. That was fun. I couldn't stay awake. Oh, I was so tired last night. That was fun and funny. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody was happy to be together. It was great. I hope it happens again soon. I know, that's how I feel too. I'm glad that she's coming around more. Yeah, her poor immune system is shot. Her immune system is shot. She sounded good last night, though. She sounded good. Hi, honey. I love you. What's the matter? You look tired. Are you tired?
No. Melissa.
What?
Melissa.
What about Melissa? Yeah, they're your friends. We're going to see them again soon. My computer keeps telling me that I have to restart to update. But then when I restart, it doesn't update because my computer is as old as dirt. Year old. Yes, this child has a lot of feelings. She has a lot of feelings. She feels a lot of things. She misses people easily. But tonight she is very tired. Tonight we are all very tired. She still has that woman's address label on it. Yeah, if you're very quiet. So you gotta shut your show off in there, honey, okay? I love these old address labels that they used to stick on magazines and stuff. This one is like real stuck on there. Save that for a rainy day when I have a project that needs an address label. I have this Lipton tea bag. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, it's been a busy weekend. You know, we're out in the sun yesterday, and then we had the birthday party today. It was more sun and running around, and it has been very hectic. Very hectic. I'm ready for bed. I am ready. And then it's going to be a hectic week too, so. But that's okay, you know. Sometimes that's just how life gets. life gets hectic. And we just got blasted like with heat, you know. Now it's just all of a sudden we had a week in the 70s last week and then a weekend in the 90s. You know, just there was no easing into it. 70 something degrees on Thursday and Friday and 88 degrees on Saturday. Oh, good for you. Relax. Get some quiet time in. You know. I will be right back, ladies. I am going to go grab hamburgers out of the freezer before I forget.
Bye.
You going to talk, Will?
What? Yeah. Hi. What are you doing? What? Hold on a minute. Phone. And here's my shoes. Here's this stuff. What? Look what happens. I'll put my headphones on. Ta-da. Hold on.
All right, well, you can watch your shows. See ya. See, I don't need fancy hold music. I just have a fancy hold kid. She does my hold for me when I have to step away. She'll be my entertainment. She is a good little helper. She is. I have a bunch of neon paper, like those Astro Brights that I was given a long time ago, brand new packages. So, you know, I was like, oh, well, if it's free, it's for me. So I've been using them to make, like, you know, kid journals and, you know, kids like bright colors. So I have all these scraps. So I just took them and punched a whole bunch of circles. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to put circles. I'm just going to make pages in this thing of just circles. I'm just going to glue in a ton of circles for no reason at all. So I literally have like this giant stack of circles, and then I saved the cutout pieces too, because I'm like, I'm just going to glue cutout pieces down too, because I just don't care. Just going to be this crazy neon circle lady in this thing. This is about not caring. This is to just throw down what you don't care about and just enjoy the stinking ride. Yeah, that's like what I'm thinking about doing. I was thinking about making like I had a whole bunch of the circles put together all like wonky like, and it looked like an optical illusion. And I said, oh, maybe I'll make a whole page of optical illusion circles. You know, as if that's going to work. It probably won't work. Yes, Sherry, all of the babies in our lives, as crazy as they can make us, really are what keeps us together. It really is the glue. I'll put these someplace else. I'll leave ahead of the curve. And both of the girls today were so good for me when we were at the party. Vera May started to get tired towards the end, but what do you expect? She's, you know, a year old. Ooh, I could work on canvas like a real artist. Never worked on real canvas before. I've only worked on junk canvases. I actually have a ton of canvas because, like actual stretched canvas, we have it is like a liquidation store, and that's where I get my washi tapes for Care. I send them to Care, and they had a whole bunch of canvases for, packages, different sizes, $1 and $2 a piece. The only difference is one of the canvases would have a rip, a small rip. So they were getting rid of them, for $1 or $2 a piece. So I grabbed a bunch to send to my aunt because she is like she does some phenomenal paintings. So, and she was just telling me about the cost of the canvases, that she just can't stand, having to pay all that money. So I figured that I could be helpful. And ooh, that's a good idea too. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I love seeing what people do to thrift store art. I just think it's so funny. Some of those little drawings, like the picture that you see floating around where they drew John Travolta. They painted John Travolta into this like little forest scene picture. I was like, that is so cute. A foresty Travolta. Books. I'm gonna have to trim this though because it's all wonky right here. Trim it the best I can. It's attacking me. Yeah, why not? Gesso. That's a good idea.
Knock the way out.
Who's knocking who out, you crazy kid?
Mommy out.
Oh. I was at the Salvation Army the other day, and they had a painting there that I think was old because the frame was really worn out and the canvas itself was nailed onto the wood frame, and it was like old looking, unless it was one of those reproductions. But if it was really. Oh, good for you, Sherry. I went thrift shopping last weekend. That's when I saw that canvas. But that last weekend's the first weekend I went thrifting in a long time. It's been a long time since I'd been to a thrift store because I've been trying to behave and I've been trying to use up what I have. But I picked up a few little things and I'm pretty happy about it because I didn't get like a ton of stuff. Yeah, these nails looked old. Like I have a box of nails that are, square nails, and they look really old, but they were just made by a local forgery, company, and they weren't even that old. The square head nails that I bought were from the 70s, But this looked old. If it was fake, it was a really, really good fake because I usually have an eye for fake, distressing. And this, sorry for the glare, totally crap-a-moly here. Oh, moving that light definitely helped my headache. I know. I understand the whole craze about distressing furniture, but I'll tell you what, I might have seen one or two pieces of furniture that's been distressed cheap, and we sold them for cheap. It's not like we tried to make all the money. Like these people at these little consignment houses and these, repurposed type stores that keep popping up all over. they distress this stuff and it looks awful. Oh my God. You know, if you're going for that look, that's one thing, but they want it to look old. You know, painting over veneer, not even sanding it down so that the paint adheres. It's like, oh my God. Hello, Miss Jamie. How are you on this lovely Sunday, which is almost Monday over in Europe for Louise, who's here, or her almost Monday. Whoa, 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 Jamie, nobody said anything about having to get things done today. I had no idea that I was supposed to get anything done. I should have gotten a memo before you come in here like, oh, what'd you do? What'd you get done? You know, I should have been warned at least. Nah, I'm just kidding. I went to a birthday party. Christy's probably lurking. Happy birthday, Jamie. Washer and dryer, that's such a great present. Although I bought myself a washer and dryer for Christmas one year and I was really excited about it. And then I grew to hate it, so I grew to hate my washer and dryer because it doesn't clean clothes. Yep. It's hurting my clothes now. It isn't being nice anymore. It's not play nice. And it stinks. Ugh. I can't do anything about it either. I have tried every single trick that I know about stinkiness. And my washing machine just stinks. Ooh, Jamie, fancy pants. You are going all out, sister. I know. When you have people over, you can say, oh, come see my champagne room. And then show them the washer and dryer. And then say, feel free to start a load of laundry while you're in here. See, like the washer and dryer that I Samsung, and I wasn't happy at all. But I'm sure they've come a long way because those were like a 2009 model, and I bought them in 2010 on clearance. And that was before they did the pedestals and stuff. Actually, it might have been an LG now that I think about it. It might have been LG. But I bought it when they first came out with like the cherry red. So I bought the cherry red and it's scratched so easily. You look at that thing and it's scratched. Hello, Vicky. Happy Sunday to you. I'm just gluing backgrounds down to make it into a background and cover up some of these ad type pages that I've got. Nobody cares about refreshing your shutters. I'm sorry. Although my shutters do need to be refreshed. Just gonna say that. They look like crap. What kind of washer dryer you buy now? You know, I love that. I love the champagne color. I love the rose gold stuff. I love rose gold in general. Someday, maybe I'll own a piece of rose gold jewelry. You can decorate a laundry room now to match it. Hey, it must have been my husband. He's out in the ice cream truck right now. And I'm sure he's selling those drumsticks like crazy. I had seen some rose gold at the estate store, jewelry store that we go to, and I almost bought it. It was a ring and a bracelet set, and they were old. I don't know how old, but you can tell by the setting that they were old. And she wanted $400 for the set, and it had 1 carat of diamonds in the ring. They were like small. They were in a channel, a channel ring. And I almost bought it, but I didn't. Because I just don't trust myself. I don't change my jewelry ever. Hello, Jennifer. How are you on this lovely day? Wow. It's nice having you all here. Like Lou mindlessly. I hope you're feeling better, Vicky. Ugh. There's been lots of ick being spread. It's just an icky world we live in these days. It's icky, icky. Aw, Jamie. We would get ice cream. My aunt lived in a community that had like a pool. It was condos. So whenever I went there, I got to have ice cream. But I wasn't allowed to have ice cream at home because the ice cream man was selling drugs out of his truck. And I wasn't allowed to be involved in that kind of business. So I could have ice cream when I went to my aunt's with my own money. I did stuff to earn money to get it. Yeah, Jennifer, we're having a blast. Gluing crap to crap. I'm gluing trash to trash is pretty much how it goes. This come from a 1908 Life magazine. Some nice textures in there. I was quite impressed with the textures of the Life textures. Yeah, he is an ice cream man. We sell the drumstick for $2.20. Actually, yes, $2.25. I had to go up on all my prices this year. And I'm really sad about that. I don't like having to go up on my prices because the neighborhoods that we frequent are not the best and the most, high end. So I feel bad when I have to tell somebody how much it costs for an ice cream. And I found out that the vendor I was getting it from last year was with the number I had on my price list was a different number than what he was charging me. So we kept having these issues where we didn't understand why it costs so much every time. Like, how come? How come? Well, it's because the prices probably went up last year and we did not find out about it until this year. So that is just my stinking luck, I'll tell you. I love this cover. It was a magazine cover that I got when I got all those books. So you better believe that I'm going to use this as a background. Ooh, that is dirty though. I need a baby wipe. I'll just use my rag. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. Like, it is nothing for some of these families to spend, $10 or $20 ice cream when they have a house full of kids. I feel guilty, but there's nothing I can do about it because it costs me a lot of money. Wow, this is dirty. Look at how much I'm tired. We went to a birthday party. Lily ran around in the sprinkler. Vera May didn't really get much of a nap anyway this morning. Her nap was very short. So, oh, wow, that's filthy. So she was tired to begin with. That'll be good enough. But believe it or not, we get chased down in the ice cream truck more often by adults that are like super pumped about the ice cream truck. I had this one woman I had this one woman, she lives in a retirement community that we don't go in. We were told to go in there and we did a few times, but people don't come out. Like they're like, "Oh, we'll come out." Yeah, we'll come out, but they don't. So we stopped going in there, but we go slow when we drive by and we had this one woman with a limp. She was limping hard, running after our truck, you know. I was like, "Oh my god." So we stopped and gave in, sold her an ice cream. I was like, "Oh my god." Lynn, the dollar store candy does not last well in the heat. Um, we've tried it. We sell drinks too. We have sodas and waters. Um, Parents really want us to get margaritas. They're like, "So please put margaritas on the truck." We're like, "Yeah, fish." But we do sell drinks. But I tried the candy and it melts. It melts within you know, it melts within a couple days. And I mean, I've done everything I could, and I can't keep it all in the cooler, because keep a whole case of candy in the cooler along with all my drinks. I do take credit cards. I have the Square thing on my phone, so yesterday we did a festival and I had somebody buy one of my journals and she wanted to put it on a credit card, and I was like, "Listen, you can buy it, but I'm just going to warn you, it's going to come on your statement. It's going to show my ice cream business because my husband is in the ice cream truck that we own right back there." And the woman's like, "Oh," she thought it was hilarious that she was going to buy a journal and it was going to show up as an ice cream purchase for, for $30. Yeah, some of them fly, and a lot of them sell drugs. A lot of them do sell drugs. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's why, we try and make it family. We have the whole family in the truck. We have the police departments that hire us now to do events. So, obviously we're not going to sell drugs. Man, we have an event this weekend for the police. They do a community day, and the police they pay for $250 worth of ice cream up front, and then they just keep giving us more money as more kids show up to the event. The whole event is free, so that's why they pay for all the ice cream. Yeah, I can imagine, Lynn. I would probably scare the bejesus out of him too. Oh, that's great. We give all of our tips to Lily. Last year, she made $291 through the whole summer in tips. We have one family that gives her $1 every single time, every weekend, and we go by their house every single weekend, and they buy an ice cream from us every single weekend and give her a tip every single weekend. And I just thought, I can't believe it. He's a firefighter in the town that we go in. So I just thought it was so, so, so sweet that, they did that. They do that. Oh, we have crazy people honking after us all the time. We have a lot of drug dealers buying ice cream from us. A lot of drug dealers. Last week, we had a guy come out with his girlfriend, and you could tell they were really on something. And he bought ice cream and he went in his sock to get his money, but he went in the wrong sock, and in his sock you could see all of the baggies of heroin or whatever substance it was. It was white, I know that, in individually wrapped baggies wrapped around his ankle in his sock. No, Vicky, you don't have to tip. Absolutely not. You don't have to tip the ice cream man. We just have people. We have just a few people that insist on giving Lily something every time because she's in the ice cream truck all day. Such nice people that are buying ice cream. These drug dealers, our friends. Oh, hey, these are our friends now, So I thought, I just find it funny. Yeah, I can tell some stories. I can tell some pretty lousy stories too. Parents that come out and they're all high, and it really breaks my heart. But there's nothing, there's nothing I can do about it. The police aren't going to do anything about it unless it's like a direct problem that they have to deal with. The parents, the police departments don't give a crap about it unless it's. No, all of our dealers are not users, except that one guy that we saw last weekend. He was like really weird. His girlfriend was really weird. He wasn't that bad, but must have been like his, his groupie. I don't know, is that how they work? I've never been a drug dealer before. Well, in the winter, we fixed the ice cream truck. My husband, we used to live in Massachusetts, and my husband owned a fuel oil company up there for 15 years. So, he sold that. He got rid of that business. He sold it, and that's when we bought this little farm down here. So we pretty much take care of the farm in the winter and fix it up because it's old and it's got a lot of headaches, and we're still doing wiring. I live in North Carolina. We moved from Massachusetts to North Carolina shortly after Lily was turned 1, I think, and she's going to be 5 in a couple weeks. So we've been down here for a while. Yes, thank you, Jamie. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway if I keep the 510 subscribers, from you. So if I stay at 500 for a few days, I will do a giveaway, like probably at the end of the week. I'm going to keep those words. Fire under the. It could be under the anything. It could be fire under the couch. Fire under the cow, Maybe you have a cow that's on fire. Who knows? Yeah, it's we have a lot of work, and it's a lot of work when you got 2 little kids and you're renovating a house, but we have fun. We have fun with it. And nobody bothers us. That's like the big thing. In Massachusetts, they're in your pocket for everything. They bother you for everything. Here, we do whatever we want. They don't care. They don't care what we do. No permits to wire your own house, Oof, this paper, this glue stinks. It smells like fish. Why all of a sudden with this glue? Maybe it's the reaction with this old paper, but it stinks like fish. I've not experienced this yet. I'm just gluing, man. I am just gluing. Lynn, it's a little bit of both. I sell eggs. That's my. And then we grow potatoes, and we sell potatoes to, local people. So that's like our business, our capital, farming business here that we have. Our potato crop, we got the potato crop in nice and early this year. So hopefully they'll be done within the next 60 days. Last year we got it in late. Yeah, it is. It's fun. Potatoes are fun because the deer don't get them. So anything that the deer don't get is fun for me. I also planted corn, but I know in my heart the deer are going to eat it all. And we didn't get a good garden in this year because we're still putting the fence up for it. Because of, you guessed it, deer. Deer just ruin the party every time. They ruin everything. What do I want to put? No, I don't want to deal with dogs and dog crap in my yard all the time. So that's how it would go. And then kids are playing in dog crap all the time. And they don't scare off the deer. My neighbor's dog barks at the deer every single night. And those deer just look at him like, yeah, okay. Okay, you big bad dog. We have 7 acres here. We have 6.49 acres. And a lot of it, we're on a hill. So, you know, we live uphill, which is like great. Everything you do is uphill. Even when you're going down the hill, it's uphill. Like my neighbor next door, he has 100 acres. He is 93 years old and he has 100 acres. He used to farm it. He spent most of his life farming it. You know, he bought it in 1947, and he's planted lots of bacca, which is what the locals call tobacco. They all grow bacca. So he's a sweet little old man. He comes up. He recently pulled a muscle in his back, and so he's been in rough shape for the last few weeks, but he still comes up when he can. Oh, I would love fainting. And we are going to get goats. We just have to fence in a part of our hill. We have to have a hill fence. Yeah, no kidding, right? The way tobacco is regulated, it is so heavily regulated now. You can grow, nobody can grow it. You have to be approved to grow it. It's like a raffle, I guess, where they allow, you know, if you sign up early enough in the year or year before, I don't even know, then they let you grow it, or they'll buy it from you, I should say. RJ Reynolds, who's the big tobacco company around here. It's like a really big deal to grow tobacco. I mean, I'm thinking about getting on the drug train, because these guys who buy cream from us, you should see what they pull. You should see the money they pull out of their pockets. Whew. Brian and I would be like, how much money do you think he just pulled out? You know, I bet you it was 10 grand. I bet you it was 12 grand. That is no joke. Drug dealing. Everybody's gonna be. Try not to cut my ropes. Try not to cut my strings. I would raise sheep for the meat. I want to raise goats for the meat. Because I want to try goat. I've never tried goat. Out there are real animal lovers, but when you are on a farm that you are trying to actually like do something with, you do lose the sensitivity to killing animals. You do. You know, that's just the harsh reality, because they eat your profit. You know, I got like hellfire the other day for talking about the possibility of having to kill squirrels. Everybody was like, oh my God. You know, I'm like, sorry, I might have to kill a squirrel. You know? Oh my God. At first I thought I read that as I got a bad meth problem. And I'm like, whoa, Lynn. Check yourself. Because I know what meth heads look like around here. I'll tell you what. It is no good. We have an owl. I don't know where he's living. I don't know if he's living in I don't know if there's one in my neighbor's barn that's like kind of in the woods behind my house, or if it's in the neighbor's barn across the street, because I hear it in 2 different places, and it might be 2 different owls. But I love hearing them like at night, you know, like this time. They're probably out there right now. You could probably hear them right now. But it's so cool to hear them, you know, just hooing away. Sometimes it's creepy. Sometimes, like when I have the bathroom window open and it's late and I go in the bathroom and you just hear the owl, you know, crickets and an owl. That's good. That is good. It's true too. It's true. The allergy season has been bad. I have not been able to turn any of my cold medication into methamphetamines. Yeah, they're huge. Owls are huge. Our squirrels are huge too. We have big frickin' squirrels in my yard. I don't know if it's that way in everybody's yard, but because it wasn't this way when I lived in Massachusetts, I'll tell you what, we did not have these steroid-sized squirrels. But these are like the size of dog. But squirrels eat corn, you know. My neighbor said squirrel tastes really good. You know, I mean, we're out here in the backwoods, remember. We are out here in the country. There is one family that we sell ice cream to that you can tell they are inbred kids. All of them. They're all like show the signs, you know. And I feel bad. I feel bad for them. Because a couple of them are in rough shape. I'll tell you, they are in rough shape. I'm surprised because I hear that owl. Unless if it's just that one owl, you know, he's got like all this land over here that he's got to manage, and he's like, man, I just can't be eating all the squirrels. You know, maybe. But I hear them. I hear that one owl, and maybe it is two. But if it's two, I would think that I would get less mice in here at night and less squirrels, unless they're getting enough eatings out of the barns that they're living in, which is also possible because the mice really like those tobacco barns because there's usually a lot of, there's usually a lot of hiding places because of how much junk people keep in them. On Amazon? Because I'll do it. Don't even tempt me. I will go to Owl eBay and I will buy up all the stinking owls. Yeah, we got all of those things. We have fox, we have hawks, we have owls. We got all those things. They must just be lazy out here. You know, I mean, there's a lot of lazy people out here. I bet you there's lazy owls and stuff too. That's okay. I know. Send me your owls, please. Please, just send me your owls. Oh, my neighbor has a grandson, and this kid plays his music on full blast, and all you hear is bass, and he leaves his truck on the whole time he's over there with the music just blaring. He shut his truck off for a little while because he's been over there for a little while, but now it's on with that stupid music thumping, and I know that he's going to just let that truck sit there running forever with the freaking music blaring. I don't know if palm trees last here. They might, but it might get too cold here for palm trees. I mean, I do have tall trees. I know. I'm covering part of it because I need to get the whole page. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down. Right along the edge of it. See? There. That's like right along the edge of it. There. We have some really tall trees out here, though. They just don't care about my trees. I have a funny story about barns. My neighbor has a barn out in the woods, right? We had no idea that this barn existed. And it's an old tobacco barn. You know, which is common around here. These old tobacco barns that are like falling in around themselves, you know, because nobody's growing anymore. So they are like, can you make circles? You can't make them out of the box, honey.
Huh?
You can't make them out of the box. It won't, the punch won't work. So anyway, my neighbor has this barn, right? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Supposedly it had a bunch of antique stuff in it, right? The barns are made out of logs and they're put together with red clay, which is what our ground, you know, our earth here is red because it's red clay and iron in this area. So he has a barn and it's in the woods. Well, he went down there and found that the barn and the antiques that were in it are missing. They are missing. Somebody came and took the whole barn down and took all of the farm equipment and even took the stone foundation that the barn was built on. Thank you. She really is an angel. Are you an angel? She don't care. She's punching paper. She's having fun. So how do you lose a barn? You know, and they're not little logs. They're full-size logs that they make these tobacco barns out of. Let me see if I can find a picture and I'll show you. Here, Lil. Oh, nope. It's Dad's friend. This one calls. She just calls the wrong. She calls here and thinks that we're Donna. She's going to leave a message. Hey, Donna, it's me. Just seeing what you're up to. Let's see if I can find an old tobacco barn. They're like this. They're made out of logs. It's all logs put together. And then they put these lean-tos on either side. No, I mean, people are buying these buildings up, right, Lynn? They're buying these buildings up so that they can make them into log houses because the desire for the old wood, you know, whatever, is a big deal. Jamie, I spit on them and then I rub it in really good and then I put the other papers down. That's how I get them to stick together, typically. But how do you lose the barn? How do you not? They're like, oh, well, it must have happened. They're like, well, we think it probably happened in like January. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, how could you don't even know. You don't even know when your barn was stolen. Oh my God. I was like, I just shook my head. That's all you can do sometimes, people, is just shake your head. I can't believe that nobody took the copper out of this house. It sat empty for a long time. And when we came here, it had all the plumbing, you know, I mean, it wasn't like good plumbing, but it was still all copper, you know. And considering I have a heroin dealer that lives right down the street from my house, I cannot believe that nobody took any of the copper, that none of the junkies came in and stole the fixtures, you know? Jamie, that would take some work, especially if you have neighbors. That can see it happening, you know? I mean, unless your neighbors hate you and then they're like, oh, thank God someone's stealing that washer and dryer out of their house, you know? Yeah, a lot of junkies are lazy. They come in looking for money. They just look for money. Thanks for hanging out, Vicky. We don't have security cameras. Brian wants to put some up because, you know, he thinks that people come around here, you know, around here, you know. And I think it's because our neighborhood is so small, right? We have such a small, it's not like we have a ton of new vehicles going by every day. You know, we have a guy who sells heroin down the street. Yeah, he does. And he sells weed, you know, which is not legal here. So, but it's still like the same clientele that he gets. I mean, I'm in the woods. There's not a lot of people out here. Yeah, I mean, where I used to live in Southbridge, Massachusetts, I had a lot of things stolen out of my yard. I had a brand new snowblower stolen. I had, I mean, it wasn't brand new, but it was a $550 snowblower, and it was worth all that because it was a John Deere, and it was very well taken care of for about 4 or 5 years when it was bought brand new. I had bikes stolen out of my yard, you know, when I was a kid. I mean, my dad used to have beer. I mean, granted, it was his own fault leaving beer in his truck and cartons of cigarettes. He'd have them stolen out of his truck. You know, it was nothing. Car break-ins happen every single night there. I couldn't imagine either. I couldn't imagine stealing. I couldn't imagine. Like, it would ruin my conscience, would ruin my life if I ever stole anything. You know, I couldn't even. No, I don't think junkies stole the barns because it would have had to have been quiet because, you know, we're home and we didn't hear anything. We didn't hear or see anything, you know? Whoever did it on a four-wheeler or something and trucked that barn out in a trailer is what Brian thinks. And I bet you he's right because it had to have been, you know, I'll bet you it was during the day when everybody's at work and there's normal noise and you would just think it was somebody, you know, on a lawnmower or whatever. And then boom, you're missing a barn. Oh, Lynn, if that was me, I would have killed the kid. Yeah, junkies look for money. Junkies look for money and jewelry and stuff. Paid $20 for his own bike. Yeah, it was somebody who knew what they were doing and somebody who could do it quietly, you know, because, I mean, we didn't hear it and we're home. You know, we're home most of the time during the day and at night. And at night, it is dead silent around here. You know, my neighbor over here, he does like a 4th of July and a Labor Day weekend thing where they are out on four-wheelers at night. And they're going through trails. You can hear them out there. And that's twice a year. Oh, but that wood is everywhere though. And people are selling it. You know, people are selling their old buildings to contractors for big money. You know, so it's the same kind of wood all over the place. You know, it is the same exact stuff all over. I gotta cover this up because it has a butt on it. And I'm already in enough trouble than to have butt. I just don't know how my neighbors didn't realize that a building on their property was stolen. Me and my husband just kind of look at each other after he got the phone call, and because they asked if we'd seen anybody coming in and out of the driveway, which is right across from our driveway, and we're like, no, not anyone, you know, not anyone. I have to cover up the butt. I'm just gonna glue the butt real quick. Don't look at the butt. Okay. It's a butt. Don't look. I know you all know what butts look like, but in case I have any G-rated viewers on here that have never seen a butt, close your eyes, everyone. Stop watching, everyone. Okay. There. There. We have concluded today's series of what offensive stuff is Malia going to post on her YouTube channel. Naked dead squirrels. Yeah. I don't know. My family lives in Massachusetts. My grandmother lives on Cape Cod, which is the coast, which is the arm, you know, that like hangs off of Massachusetts. That's where she lives. And she lives next to one of the most popular gay retreat areas in the country. Oh no. Doesn't a black screen mean that like you're dead? The black screen of death? I shouldn't be buffering. Nobody's on Netflix. Am I gone? Am I back? Is this real life? Oh, I'm back. Okay. Because it shows, all of a sudden it'll show my viewers are all gone. It'll say like I'm down to 1. And now it shows that you're all like coming back into my life. Welcome back. Welcome back to my life. Of getting cut off of YouTube. See, it's the butt. The butt is what did it. YouTube's like, that was their little slap on the wrist. Like, hey, we're gonna make you not on. I just want to show you how much power we have over your life. You know, it was the butt. Oh, I have glue on my fingers, and I just got glue on my paper in that bucket. So now all my paper is going to stick together. And listen now, before you go crying all kinds of obscenities because there's a picture of a revolver on this, I had a bunch of American Rifleman magazines that I went through, and there wasn't much pickings. in those magazines, except for this page of books, which I pulled out like 5 times. Massachusetts is beautiful. Expensive, but beautiful. I had a good upbringing there, you know. I mean, there was a lot of good life lessons with all the stealing and stuff in my neighborhood. But Massachusetts is gorgeous, and I'm very fortunate to have grown up, you know, spending my summers on the coast. And, you know, I do miss my family. I do miss having my family. I don't like that my kids are raised away from my family. But when it the other day had a teacher was arrested for dropping bullets in the hallway, in the stairwell. And he claims he got the school put on lockdown until they found out that it was him who did it, because hello, cameras. And he said he did it to prove a point that the school needed metal detectors, because the school doesn't have metal detectors yet. You know? I know, Lynn. We get a little taste of everything. It was Nazis the other night. I had a picture of the Nazi symbol on a book page, and Missy Allen was in here with me, and she says she's never going to let me live it down now. That she is always going to talk about my Nazis. Yeah, he's done. He lost his job. He was arrested. His, you know, he's screwed. He's screwed in a nutshell. I don't care for, I don't need a military weapon. I have my concealed carry permit. I have to get it, you know, I have to get it renewed. I haven't gotten it renewed yet, but it's because I'm switching over to North Carolina. So, you know, I'm going to get it, I'm going to redo it. And, Lil, here. Yeah, take your headphones off so you can talk to him.
Hi there.
I got to get it renewed this year. So call him back. Let me see. Take the headphones off so you can talk to him, okay? I know. She's so cute. No, I don't think there's a reason why a civilian person needs a military grade weapon. You have to wait. It's ringing.
Hello? Hello? Hi. Yeah, are you home? Are you home? I know. I miss you too. Huh? Okay, are you home? Where are you? You can hang up.
It's over, honey. He's working. He'll be home in a little bit. I don't own a gun. Like, you know, I don't have one. It's not like it's something, you know, Brian does. He was raised around them. I wasn't raised around them. They were not in my family. The men in my family didn't carry them. You know, my dad didn't have one, so it just wasn't anything that I was around. But Brian has one, and he, you know, it's totally normal to him. Yeah, in the country, like out here, you do need it. You do, because you have things that eat your chickens and things that eat your chicken eggs. Honey, he's going to be home just a few minutes. Watch your shows, and then and then he'll be home before you know it. Okay? Probably, you know, a half hour, I bet. You know, you need them out here. We had that pack of pit bulls that was terrorizing everybody's farm. Fortunately enough, those people left before we had to do anything about it. But something was going to have to be done about them if they kept coming up and ripping at my chicken coop. You know, we had to repair a chicken coop because of them. You know, yeah, where I am, the police can't be here in 3 minutes. And when we call, it's the sheriff's office, and it better be a really good reason you're calling. Yeah, you never know when a chupacabra might show up. And you can't have that eating up your chickens. Okay? All right, thanks, Lil. I love you. And I mean, I don't think anybody's ever going to come break in my house at night, but I like knowing that I have the protection in case they did out here in the middle of nowhere. You know? I mean, we had guinea hens, and they all got hit by a car out here because speed limit's 55, you know? It is common sense. And, like, some people don't see it that way. Some people are like, oh, well, still, you know, carrying guns is just bad, you know? Guns hurt people. I'm like, not really. They don't. I've never been hurt by one. Exactly. And, you know, if they would find something else. They would just find some other means of weaponry, you know. And now you can go online and you can print off the blueprint to print a gun on a 3D printer, you know. No, they do it just to keep you busy from what they're actually doing, you know. They just don't want you to know what they're really up to. So they use this stuff as a distraction, is the way I see it anyway. Yeah, and money, exactly. And they're all eating out of the same bowl. So, you know, don't kid yourself on who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. Yeah. Yeah, they just keep the wounds fresh all the time. But I have to say, these shootings going on, oh my God, like something control, you know? When you're having 2 or 3 shootings, a week, you know? It's like, that's just bad, you know? That is just bad. A lot of people are going to Colorado. Colorado seems to be like, a lot of people are coming to North Carolina too. But Colorado seems to be one of the popular hotspots that people are running away to, you know. I really like this tree. Yeah. Like one of the things that I had seen about these shootings is how the majority of the people, that are doing these shootings are young white men. And these doctors want to know what is wrong with the young white men in our country to be causing them to want to shoot, massive amounts of people. I mean, people blame the video games and people blame this and people blame that. But I mean, what the hell? What could it possibly be? Because I don't think it's the video games and the TV. I don't think that's completely it. I think that there's something wrong inside of these people's brains, you know? Yeah, Colorado wasn't much cheaper than Massachusetts when I was comparing apples to apples of all the different states. Colorado wasn't on the cheap list. California is oh so cheap. California, I think, is number 1 in the country, if I remember correctly. The most expensive state, or they were anyway, for a long time. The most expensive state to live in. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it, some genetic defect? Is it drugs? Is it, being raised as spoiled little brats and then realizing that that's not what the world is really like? What is it? What is causing this? Exactly. Exactly. These men, they don't know what to do with themselves. All of a sudden, they're out of school and they can't make enough money, and whatever the case may be. I think a lot of it is drugs, because some of the pictures of these shooters, I'll tell you. Think that marijuana has made things worse there, Jamie? I mean, since you've been legal there the longest, so you've had the longest taste of what the market, has done, what it's done to people. Really? No, I don't think it makes people violent, but I do think that in a lot of cases it makes people sick. I do think that it makes people sick. And it does change your brain. It does change the way you process things. It changes your memory. It changes, it changes a lot of things in your brain. And I think that if you start using it as a teenager, it has really bad effects on you as an adult. If you use it a lot when your brain is still developing, I think that it has bad effects on you as an adult. Exactly. And no, I agree with that. And there's a lot of cases too, like with these opiates, where these doctors are handing out these prescriptions and then just keep handing them out. And then all of a sudden they're under fire and they're like, oh, well, I have to stop. So they stop cold turkey, Like my mom has a lot of physical problems and she's on some painkillers, and they are in the process. And they're weaning her. They're not going to just take it, Yeah, I believe it. I believe that the percentage of kids are, have smoked pot, because once by the time I was 14, I had tried it. I had already, smoked pot. And it wasn't even legal then. It's legal in Massachusetts now too. And like Massachusetts having a blast with this legalization. It's causing it's like every other day there's new developments in the pot front in Massachusetts. I do have to say honestly though, I convinced my mother to try some because of her pain. She had nerve damage. And she would smoke just a little bit of it, and the pain was so bad. Like her pain was so, her whole life was ruined for about 6 months. But between the time that nerve acted up until she went in for the surgery, she was just in complete agony. And the pot was smoking pot. I told her, I said, Ma, you should try it, because they talk about the pain, and it did. It was the only took away her pain so that she could actually live. She could actually exist. Of course, you can't do it before you go to work or you're going to go someplace and do something. You can only do it when you're at home. If you're like a decent person and you're not about to go drive onto the influence, but you can only do it when you're at home and relaxing, especially if you're not a regular user of it. But it worked. And I do think it really helps in cases like with anxiety. I do think it helps in cases with that, and in cases with, schizophrenics. Yeah, Lynn, I tried to convince my dad when he was going through chemo, but he wanted nothing at all to do with it. He was pretty against it. He was pretty much against it his whole life. I tried to convince him to do it, but he wouldn't do it. Yeah, seizures, I can't do pain meds either. They wreak havoc on my stomach. They wreak real havoc on my guts. Do I think that marijuana is some kind of horrible evil in this world? No, I don't. I think there's a lot worse things, and I put marijuana on the same level as alcohol. But I do think that just like alcohol, it can get into the wrong hands, and it can really, ruin a person mentally. It can really have bad effects on some people. Exactly. It needs to be treated as its own thing until they get a better handle on what it's doing and what it can do and what it will do. They still have no idea.
Mom,
No, you're right there. And that's the case with all drugs and things. Upbringing and choice.
we had Mentos in the water.
Cool. Look at that stuff.
Yeah, can you bring some of the stuff, some of that white thing?
Yeah, we'll have to look. What?
That sound.
That was the container lid. When you jumped up on the bed, I think you hit it.
Yeah, what?
The lid.
What?
That was on the floor.
Oh. No.
Yeah, alcohol does kill more people than pot. Alcohol in general is more addictive. I do think in some people, okay, some genetic chemistry, pot is a gateway drug. I do think that a lot of people smoke it and then they say, that I need something more than this. And the reason they say that is because there's something wrong to begin with. They don't say not, a normal person that doesn't have any, when I say normal, I mean somebody who doesn't have a history of mental disorder. I don't think a person that doesn't have that history would say that. Oh, I need something stronger. I need to be more high than this, you know? Yeah, you're going to have to lay down, and more than likely it's going to knock you out. You're going to fall asleep, because it's a downer. It's not going to give you energy. You're not going to be up and dancing. And Jamie, the problem is that these parents are making it look fun. Just like people who are drunks. Kids see their parents that are laughing and stumbling, and they're like, oh man, that drinking looks like fun. But guess what? Next thing you know, the kid's 13. I have relatives that started drinking when they were young and then turned out to be nothing, and then turned out to have severe mental problems. We're going to have something for supper in a minute, honey. You can have a bowl of Cheerios with milk. You want to go eat those ones? I'll do that. No, honey, just eat them out of that bag. Can you eat them what? Yeah, eat them at the table. Exactly. And that's why I don't drink, because it's been in my life and it's been in my family and it's in my blood, and I don't want to have that problem, Hi, Joe P. Tonight's the night of controversial conversations in Malia's live stream. I don't think that my personality is as addictive as what I've seen in my family, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk, the possibility that I could easily become an alcoholic. That's just not an experiment I want to perform on myself. This glue really stinks like fish. I turned 21 and I did the drinking thing for a little while, and I had fun going to bars. I was the last one of my friends to turn 21, so it was a big deal. I could go out finally legally and drink, and I did my little fun thing, and then all of a sudden alcohol started making me sick, and that was the end of that. And since I counted one a couple times a year, maybe, Yeah, I did the partying thing, but I was also working full time, so I was responsible about it. Living on my own, not driving drunk anyplace. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Yeah, I will be I'll be doing a giveaway videos since I was at 450 subscribers. So I put everybody's name in a bucket. I have a bucket going. I know. Drinks at a bar are like so expensive now. I would go out when I turned 21. I would go out, and a $5 bill would get me feeling pretty good, which was nice because I was working and I didn't really want to spend much more than that, I didn't want to waste my money on alcohol. our days, Lynn. You know, you could have ruined your marriage right off the bat if you wanted to. That's a fun thing to do too. People ruining their marriages, shortly after they get married. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't lose my job and I couldn't lose my apartment, and yeah, I was saving money too, and I was in college. It wasn't like I was gonna I wasn't about to throw it all away. I mean, I've seen it happen. Better yourself, not working your tail off, because working your tail off so that you didn't have to try and do all that now, Because with the economy and the market and the way that these houses have just skyrocketed in price all over the country, our house was as cheap as it was because when we bought it, it was a dump. Yeah, I know people who have done that too. Life saving. I watched a kid got $250,000 from his dad's life insurance policy when his dad died, and he decided to buy a bar. He decided to buy like a nightclub type thing, which was cool, right? And it was nice and it was fancy. Well, then he decided to start having like very high-end rave style parties. Well, you can only do that so many times before you're on the radar of a lot of different agencies, local and federal. So guess where that kid's serving? Guess where that kid is right now, serving his life sentence in some jail because a fight broke out and someone died. It was a pretty big deal. It was a pretty big deal. Well, ladies, I think that I am going to sign off for the night because my husband should be home soon and I want to cook him a hamburger so that he doesn't have to worry about it. I'm so happy that you all came to hang out, and I am so happy that we had all of these crazy conversations, because it's the crazy ones that really make you who you are, right? I just love you all. I just love spending time with you all. I love going live. I love when I get a chance, when the baby cooperates and the stars line up. And tonight the baby was in bed because she was tired. So that worked out well. But I got to glue this one last piece down because it just made my day to put it right there. So thank you. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. I love you all very much. And I'm sure that I will see you all soon. Oh, well, if you're coming, I'm having my auction tomorrow. I've got some more old books to get rid of, and some not so old books, and some slightly old, but not really too old books. So that'll be tomorrow at 5. So if you want to come hang out tomorrow, I'll be doing that. I love you all. Ta-ta for now. I got to clean up this space so I can get ready for my auction. I love you. Bye-bye.